All right, welcome everyone to another episode of the Shop and Tread Talk podcast. My name is Anise, and as usual, we got Frank with us. How you doing, Frank?
Good evening. I'm doing great.
Good,
Doing
good,
really good today.
good. Before we get started, just want to make sure all the listeners, if you wanted to find us online, you can log on to Facebook, search the Shop and Tread Talk podcast, send us a message there or follow. We'd really appreciate it. Frank, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest here?
Today we got Jacob with us. We met on TikTok, is where I've met a lot of our guests, and so we've just been chatting back and forth and getting to know each other a little bit. So I invited him on here, and yeah, Jacob, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, and why you do what you do, and we'll just move on from there.
Yeah, of course. I'm just going to tell my computer to remind me tomorrow about the update it wants to do. My name is Jacob. I've been licensed for about 2 years as a Red Seal automotive tech here in Canada. Prior to that, I had probably 7 or 8 years of really just cobbled experience as an apprentice. And so currently I'm it's kind of a truck and coach shop. It's kind of an automotive shop. It's not 100% sure what it is just yet. So,
Well, it's a hybrid shop, so that's all
was
good.
gonna
a
say,
hybrid
it's a
shop,
hybrid
and
shop.
yeah. So it's interesting every day. Our foreman likes to call it his diesel daycare.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Been there for a while now?
Almost 4 months now,
Okay. Okay.
and it's been the biggest breath of fresh air from where I came from. So it's been nice.
That's good.
So you're a 310 S technician then, are you?
Yeah,
You're not a T.
310S, no T yet, but
Okay.
the foreman and I have discussed putting me on as an apprentice,
Okay, yeah.
and I'll probably eventually challenge it.
Yeah, well, if you're around it enough and you hear enough language from that side of the shop, then you'll just yeah, I can get that.
Yeah, yeah, it's seeming fairly universal. There is a lot of just different names for things, and it seems like there's a lot of stuff. The way it's done seems almost counteractive to what I'm used to for automotive things. But in their world, it makes sense. So I've just
Yeah.
got to learn to differentiate the two and learn
When
about hydraulics and air. And
yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah, when I did my apprenticeship, my first year apprenticeship, the 310S and 310T was combined,
Mhm.
and before, so everyone before me, you go through and everything was combined, and at the end, you could write both tests, or you write just one or the other, and
Oh,
then
so
you
you
could
weren't
be.
grandfathered in.
Well, I wasn't right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they split it. The first year, they did both. Then after that, you had to split and choose which way you wanted to go.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, ah, man, it
Okay.
would have been. Sometimes it would have been cool to have my 310T, but for the most part, it's not in my interest, right? So
Mhm.
You're still doing diesels. I mean, you got your Chevy Cruze, Frank.
Yeah, some of
I
them,
that
some
one's
of them are
gone,
still
so
moving around.
I don't have to touch that one no more.
That's
No,
that's where you get your diesel fix from.
no, man, I stay away from diesel as hard as I can. I had a Jetta once. I bought this diesel Jetta, and I drove it around for I don't know about 6 months. And my daughter hated it because she said that it smells like crayons.
No, it's mothballs. That's what my wife said. It smells like mothballs.
I don't
You had,
know
I had a Jetta too, for a diesel
if
for
you
the longest
if
time.
you sniff on some crayons, which I don't recommend doing. This is for educational purpose only. But you sniff crayons and you go sniff diesel inside, like not outside, but if you're sitting inside the vehicle, it's like, yeah, okay, I can understand why she thinks this smells like crayons.
I've got crayons in my toolbox. I'm gonna have to test that.
Educational
Yeah.
purposes only.
Oh, of course, they're not in my snack drawer at all.
the red
Yeah,
ones, the red ones smell the best, apparently.
Apparently, Frank?
I wouldn't know. I just been told.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting though. Yeah, but yeah, like so when you say you're doing automotive there, are you doing primarily like diesel automotive then, since it is a primarily a truck and coach shop, or are you tackling all kinds of?
There is a fair bit of diesel stuff. I wouldn't call it diesel work as far as diesel guys consider it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
but just light maintenance type of thing. They had a lot of different fleets with 250s, 350s, stuff like that. A lot of Fords,
Yep.
and they were kind of surfacing them a little bit here and there, and then it just kind of trickled on from there. Those people told their friends and family, and a couple other people trickled in. We're slowly getting more just regular vehicle maintenance type of stuff, which is nice.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I
And if
guess.
I
but it is
remember,
a fair bit of heavy stuff. So thankfully, it's a 12K two post that picks stuff up and puts stuff down nice.
yeah, if I remember you saying you only had the one hoist and the rest of it you got to do on the ground.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Anything that's a dually, I'm doing on the ground, which
oh man,
it doesn't drive me nuts yet, but
Jeez.
you just wait till you get to be my age and you'd be like, I ain't getting down there. Oh, forget that.
I feel that way at 30 some days. So
I've lived under a hoist my whole life. I don't want to live under a
yeah,
hoist. You know what I mean?
I will say it's awful nice though. I've been under the hoist, but this is the tallest hoist I've been under. So at 6 foot tall, it's just a blessing. I
Yeah,
can put a whole 1 ton truck or
yeah,
a transit van up full height, and I can walk around and still have room to put my arms up.
That's
It's
wild.
fantastic. Yeah.
yeah. See, my hoist, my 12K hoist is capable of doing that, but unfortunately, we were like 4 inches shy in the ceiling or something to be able to put it up to full height.
Do you have a
So
12
an F
pound? You
two,
have a 12,000 pound in your place?
I do have a 12,000. Yeah, I have two 10K and one 12K.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and like an F-250, I can put up all the way and walk underneath it. But a transit van, nah, that caps out at the top, and that one gets a little bit funky. But thankfully, we don't work on
No.
those things too much. But
This the shop was designed with like dump trucks in mind.
what? Yeah,
So it's fantastic. I think we're 40-foot ceilings or something like that. You can bring in
Oh,
a
beauty.
triaxle dump truck and you can put the dump bed up pretty well all the way.
really.
That's
It's
pretty awesome.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, it sucks for winter time to try and get any of that heat down from the ceiling down to the floor, but
Oh, it's fantastic. I don't know what company it was that designed this building, but the insulation is absolutely wild. Like it's 120 feet long, 60 feet wide with 40-foot ceilings, and
Jeez.
it
wow,
has one furnace for the entire place, and it lives down by the doors,
really?
and it
Wow.
barely runs, barely runs. It's
Did,
incredible how well they insulated that building.
any chance they got in floor heating in that place that you don't know about?
Jeez.
No in floor that I've seen anything routed to. It's just very well insulated. It's
Oh, that's
impressive.
good. That's
That's pretty
good.
cool.
Oh yeah. Like every inch of the pleated ceiling, even you can see where it's all been lined with like the ceiling tape.
Hmm.
Like, there's no gaps.
Is it air conditioned as well, or?
Unfortunately, no. But it's nice. It's right next to a lake, so
Okay.
there's constantly a breeze, and
Okay.
they had in mind that they would need that breeze. So the main doors face. I want to say they face south, or they face south. So
Yep.
Mhm.
it's an east-west breeze all the time coming in off the lake. So
Hmm.
with that in mind, they put nice windows, 4 or 5 of them down each length of the shop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See,
So yeah,
that makes a huge difference.
yeah, we just open those suckers off, and then the barn fans are on up top, and we get great airflow.
I have one south door and two west doors, and honestly, the breeze that flows through my shop is incredible.
Hmm.
It
I
makes the
work,
difference.
yeah, the shop I worked at for 14 years, it had four east doors and like two small ass west windows with trees in front of it. There was zero breeze in that shop. It was incredibly uncomfortable.
Well, your owner didn't want anyone to know that you were there, Frank. They tried to steal you or something.
Well, your shop's the same way, Anise. Like yours are all east doors. I don't know if you have any large windows on your west side.
We have some windows in the back, so we'll open those windows up. They're actually pretty
Yeah,
decent sized windows to get the cross flow.
yeah, it's
But
having
then
that
again,
kind of crossflow is incredible.
with the construction going on next door to me, it's kind of stopped right now. But before, when those big tractors are going by and the dump trucks and all that, we wouldn't really open those windows 'cause you get a whole bunch of dust coming in all day long, right? But yeah, now it's okay. We have the cross flow. It's really nice. But I've
Yeah.
also got the. I don't know if you saw when you came over the other day. I got those big, huge industrial fans. So I've got one massive one. I've got two or three others for the other bays. So at least
They make a
there's
big
airflow in
difference.
every single bay wherever anyone's working.
Yeah, I rarely have to run a fan, so I'm very thankful for that. I have a ceiling fan I'm supposed to put up one day, but one day, maybe when I get time.
We had fans like that, like you're talking about, and he's at the one private shop that I was at previously because it was horrible airflow. It was one east door or west door, sorry, and then two man doors north and south, and just no air moving through it. And one of the owners just happened to have a brother-in-law that worked for Can-Arm, who
Hmm.
makes industrial fans. And so he messaged him the one day. He said, "Hey, these are all getting clearance, and there are 3 or 4 of these nice wall-mounted units that swing. They oscillate."
Oh yeah,
He said, "Do you want them for the shop? Like you can get them for a fraction of what they would normally cost." So the owners bought those and they put them in this shop that normally would have no air flowing through it,
yeah.
and it made all the difference. It was incredible. Like they put one up in each corner basically so that they swept all of the bays,
That's
and it
nice.
was, yeah, it was awesome.
I just tried to find the biggest fan possible that we could we could fit in each bay,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wrote a check and said I don't care how much it is. I want the biggest freaking fan I can find
You
that is
know,
not going to be too much in the way and too much to blow away.
there's a company called Big Ass
Oh,
Fans.
I know there is. They have their fans in Costco's, and I've
Yeah.
seen them. Those are huge.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would cover your whole bay.
My whole shop basically. Yeah,
The portacools are pretty awesome too. I'd love to experience one of those in a shop, but
With
they
the
look
water
like they're
flowing through it or
massive.
whatever. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought about doing AC in my shop. I don't think it'd be too complicated.
Let me. So I worked in a shop, one small private shop, for a short amount of time, and he had AC in it, and it was the most annoying thing. Um, because like it was fine if you let kind of like your heat out in the wintertime, right? Like I leave my heat on all night long. I don't shut it off at night. I don't get a. I hate coming in the morning and like turn the heat on and freeze to death for 2 hours until the heat's on, right?
Yeah,
I just leave it running. That's what he needed to do with the AC, but he didn't. He shut it off at night, coming in the morning, and then like all the doors are closed and it's muggy as hell in there. It's like you can't breathe. It's stagnant. And then
yeah,
like freaking 2 hours later, then finally it's caught up. Oh, you got
yeah.
to bring a car in. You open the door, and all that's gone up again.
Yeah,
Then you got to work again. So the air conditioning would have to be done right. You'd have to have like large units that could cool it off fast,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then keep it cool, but not like if you just got a window unit or whatever. So yeah, you could go stand in front of it and be like put air in it. Then you could be like Rindy, the girl on TikTok who air, you know, blow gun into her boots. She got like 3 million views on that video. But yeah. So, anyways, but that's what we all do. It's standing in front of an AC, or you just go sit in a car while you're bringing it in, and it's like this is a long test drive.
Yeah.
or
I've
if
been
they
doing
get
the
really
boot thing
hot,
for years.
Oh yeah,
they can just come into the front showroom. It's ice cold in there.
dude. I always give the office staff crap because I'm like it's 30 degrees out here, and you guys have it 20 degrees in here. That's a 10-degree difference for us to walk in and out of. Like we're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
Well, you just have to get used to it. I'm like,
I
man,
have the AC cranked in the front office, like you're walking into the hospital, man, like a
really?
doctor's office. Oh yeah, you walk in there and you're like, all right, here, fine, just take my money, just I'll drop it off and I'm going.
So you,
It's
you
fine.
got little crystals hanging off of your beard there. Yep.
Yeah, kind of little. I got a few hairs here, but no, I try to keep it cool in there. My dad's the opposite. He gets cold all the time, so if I'll go to the garage and I'll come back and all of a sudden the AC's off and I'm like, what happened? He's like, I'm freezing, and I'm like, oh
Put a sweater on, right?
god.
That's what I always say in the wintertime. Like in the wintertime, it's exact opposite. I keep it like 12 to maybe 14, 16 degrees in the shop because I'm like, that's a really comfortable working temperature. You walk in the office and they got 30 degrees in there, and I'm like,
Mm,
wow.
Uh, I I got it cranked up nice in the garage in the wintertime. Oh, they're working in t-shirts and loving it.
Well, I work in t-shirt, but if it's any hotter than 16 or like yeah 16 degrees, that's what I have it set at. Anything more than that, and start sweating. Sometimes the guys are like, "Oh, it's cold in here," and I'm like, "Put another shirt on, put a
Uh,
sweater on, wear your sweater all day. I don't care." But I'm in a t-shirt.
I
I'm the
love
boss.
any
What does that
day
say?
where I can wear a sweater the whole day and not sweat it out too much.
Oh, see, and I
That's
hate
my
wearing a
favorite.
sweater, right? So I don't have it too cold because I just my t-shirt and that's all I want. I don't want to wear a sweater. I don't want to wear nothing like that.
oh yeah.
You just got to make comfortable, right? Like we all work better if we're comfortable, and I have to learn to compromise even for my employees. Be like, okay, well, I will compromise a little bit here, but you got to compromise too, right? But I
Yep.
guess if I wasn't doing the active work in the shop, then if they wanted it at 18 degrees, yeah, okay, I'll let you do that, or 20 degrees. But if
I
I'm
I
working
just
there actively too, then I
I
want
just
them
go
out.
by whatever the techs want the temp to be in the garage. I say, look, you guys are the ones working in there. You set it to whatever you want.
Well,
I'm not
exactly.
gonna go and mess around with it. You guys are comfortable. You're gonna work and be happy. I don't care. Crank it
And
to
that's the
whatever
way
you
it should be.
want.
But if you were working in there too, and you're like, man, I'm sweating to death, I can't work in this, so you'd be like, okay, we're gonna turn the
Oh yeah,
temperature
then
down.
then I would completely veto everything. And if I'm working in there, I'd be like, no, we're gonna have it at 21 degrees. I want to be able to sit my ties and feel like I'm on the beach. I want 21, 22 degrees. If that's going to be
Nice
a
and
problem,
balmy.
then I
See,
guess we
Jacob,
got a problem.
can you hear what's going on here? Here's a guy that's never worked in the garage.
Hey, whoa, 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 you
This
got to
is what I
rewind.
would. This is what
You
I
got to
would
hit
do.
rewind on that. I've done my time changing tires with David in our second shop area when the heat went out during the winter. We couldn't get someone to come in, and we were literally changing tires like -10 in the garage. Oh, I've
That's
done my
fun.
time.
All right,
Did you at
all
least
right.
go a propane heater or
Where
anything?
we're taking the bead sealer out of the actual thing, and we're like, is this gonna freeze by the time we put it on the?
Yeah, that's too cold.
You
It was
mentioned propane there. You mentioned propane there, Jacob.
Yeah.
Listen. Here's a story. I love telling these stories. This garage I worked at uh, didn't have great. No insulation. You said your shop has good
bad.
insulation. This had
Yeah.
no insulation. It was a brick building and a really short ceiling. It was, anyways. The heat in there sucked like really bad. I'm like, we got to have more heat in there. So what he did is he went and got one of those like Mister Heater things that hangs up on the
Yep.
wall, a propane powered one. Great, it's all good. 20-pound propane tank sat on the floor underneath it. Line go up. Well, the exhaust on those furnaces is really hot, right? Like I don't know if
Hmm.
you've ever felt one of those, and
Yep.
it's like, man, that's a lot of heat escaping to the outside. Well, we're not going to let that heat escape. We're just going to reroute it back into the shop.
Oh boy.
So you see where this is going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, you know what? It's like warm in here. I'm happy. The one morning, for everyone in the shop, all four of us called in sick, and we're like, and the next day we're all like, still kind of feeling groggy or whatever, and come to work, and then we're all telling each other, oh, we all called in. Like I called in sick. I called in. What? You're sick too? You're sick too? And one of the guys that was working for us at the time is actually my mentor from years ago. He's a firefighter, and he's like, "Holy shit, we just all had carbon monoxide poisoning."
Hmm.
Well, that was the end of that. Like, holy
Jeez.
crap!
Yeah, that's not something to mess around with.
I mean, like, it's not a. I mean, we all got sick. I don't think we could have died because the doors are open all the time or whatever, but it was enough that we
Yeah.
all got carbon monoxide poisoning. Oh
Do
man,
you run a CO detector in your shop?
no,
No.
because
I
it would go
worked.
off. It would go off all the time.
I worked at a Hyundai dealer, and they had a CO detector in the shop, brand new garage within like the last 10 years type of thing, and you could run 9 brand new Hyundais in there. It wouldn't go off for half an hour with the door closed.
Really?
Somebody traded in a 1991 Ford F-150, the 302 in it. You could drive that sucker in the door with the door still open. It was setting it off. It was wild.
Well, the reason the Hyundais weren't setting off the detector because the damn things weren't running.
Oh, this is true. Yeah, yeah. I definitely saw 2 to 3 engines. I'd like to say a week, but
An
sometimes it was
hour?
a day
Sometimes a day,
going in
yeah.
and out of there. Yeah,
Just stick your finger
yeah,
in the tailpipe. Hmm. Yep, that's
yep,
warranty.
We
yep.
we had the one shop. We had a smoke alarm, and it was built into the alarm system of the building or something weird like that. And it was a really old setup already, and it must be getting faulty. But if you ran a vehicle in the shop, the smoke alarm would go off, and it would send the alarm company, and then all of a sudden the fire trucks come roaring into the parking lot, and they're like, "Where's the fire?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then they realized that this smoke alarm was in the middle of the building, and just running a car on the hoist would
Yep.
set it off. I was like, "Oh wow!"
Yeah, that's wild.
So
Jeez.
that got disabled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
that's
At
crazy.
uh at your current place, is there a certain vehicle that you're kind of getting used to seeing all the time, or a certain brand that you're getting used to seeing all the time working on?
There's a lot of Ford trucks.
A lot of Ford
A
trucks.
lot of Ford trucks, and I've been kind of happily surprised to see quite a few OBS Chevys come through the door.
Oh really?
I had one as one of my first vehicles, so I have a soft spot for them. So
Hmm.
there's been a couple very, very nice, very clean OBS Chevys come through the door, and I'm happy to work on those.
What
But
is an
a lot of
OBS Chevy?
Fords. Yeah, like
Old
a
body
old
style.
body style. So
Oh, okay, okay,
late '80s, early
okay.
to
Yeah,
mid
now okay, I
'90s
got it
type thing.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not catch on to that slang at all.
Some of the best trucks ever made.
I have I used to think I was a Chevy fan, but I'm really just not so much. Even the older style, like some of if you're gonna talk about Chevys, you'd have to go like 70s, and then they made nice Chevy trucks. But other than that, but I agree with you. Like the Fords, the F-250s, I understand why that is the choice of a lot of fleets
Hmm.
because it probably is the most reliable of that generation of truck of like the newer generations, I would say.
Yeah, we've got a fair amount of our customers that have them. They're still the steel bodies.
Yeah.
A lot of like 11s to I think it's 15 or 16 before they went to the Illuma duties.
Did the heavy duties go to aluminum as well in 15?
Uh, yeah, for the most part,
Okay.
15 or 16. I can't remember, but
I know the half ton did. My brother has a 15 F-150. His is aluminum, and mine is a 12, and it's still the steel one.
hmm
Um.
oh, they I think it was 15 or 16. They went to the aluminum. I can't remember 100%, but
Okay.
most of the customers that we have the steel bodies. And almost anybody I talk to that drives a Power Stroke prefers the steel body. Like we've got customers, the one customer, they probably have 15, 20 Super Duties on their personal fleet.
Mhm.
Jeez.
And like they've got deleted ones, they've got tuned ones, they've got toys, and they prefer the steel bodies.
Really?
Yeah. And one of their new aluminums is it's a limited. Like it's a very, very nice truck, one of 2,000 or one of 5,000 or whatever.
Oh
Really,
wow.
really nice. And they prefer the old beat up steel bodies.
Are they just finding that they're more rigid?
Yeah, they're just a better driving truck in my opinion because they've got less flex in them and they just seem to stand up to abuse a little better, especially
Mm.
for companies that are doing a lot of landscaping, a lot of plowing and stuff like that.
Okay.
They just take the abuse a little better.
Are you said you're doing like there's diesel and regular passenger vehicles as well, right? Like as you said, it was kind of a mix, a hybrid
Yeah,
situation.
I'm
Um,
the only automotive tech at the
mhm.
moment. It's still a pretty new venture for them stepping into the automotive side.
Has there been like a flavor of the month type of vehicle coming in often, or is it just a big miniature poodle mix of vehicles?
It's been a bit of a mix as of late. The first few weeks I was in there, it was definitely just super duty after super duty after super duty.
Hmm.
So I got really used to lifting super duties on a 2 posts for the
Yep.
first time ever.
So then you get a random Toyota Corolla, and you're like, "What do I do with this thing?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's such a big hoist that, yeah, little cars like that, I kind of have to take the hoist feet out of the arms. And I made up these really nice rubber pads that I just slide under the pinch welds, and I just
Oh
have
yeah.
to make it work. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's the best way to do it. Try wait till you get a BMW or something come in. And they have like they're really really short where they have their
yeah.
lift points,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like especially on a 12K hoist, that's really difficult to lift those things. But a smart car, surprisingly, is really freaking easy to lift on a 12K.
Why would you
Oh,
even use a
yeah.
hoist?
I'm strong, but I'm not that strong.
Just you, your apprentice, get Margarita to help, and a few jack stands. You're fine.
It sounds like a good excuse to buy a forklift. Everyone needs a forklift.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
that would be nice.
Or you just lift with a pallet jack, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, our neighbors got forklifts, so I don't need to worry about that. If I need something moved, I just call them over and say, "Hey, come move this for me."
It's handy.
I
Oh,
sent you the video, Frank. Was it 3 weeks ago or so? We had that smart car, the white one.
trying to remember
Where
what were you doing on it. Oh,
remember
you something about it. Yeah, I do remember something about it.
she brought in. She was donating the car, but she bought 4 tires for it to install, and then she was donating it.
Donating it how?
The I don't know, donating it to
Like a teen challenge or something like that.
teen challenge thing, but she put like 600-700 bucks worth of tires on it and then donated it.
I've seen someone else do that before. It's kind of nice because then teen challenge can go and sell the vehicle. That's what they do.
Frank, the value of the vehicle was, you saw it, right?
It's a smart car. Right?
Was
They
it a
never lose
diesel
money.
smart car?
I don't even know what it was, but it was so disgustingly ugly, and it had this weird design on it that looked like blood was dripping off it, and like it was basically a paperweight that went in reverse and drive.
No man.
If
We
you
have,
talk
we
to
have
people that had them long term, though, it's the stories are hilarious. I met a guy that used to daily drive from Ottawa to Toronto with a diesel smart car, and I think at that time when I spoke to him about it, he had 830,000 kilometers on it,
Jeez.
and not a ton of maintenance.
and they got surprisingly good leg room. First time I
Yeah,
saw one, I was like surprised.
yeah,
And we
I'd
have a
take one of them over a Fiat.
yeah, we have a customer with an electric smart car, and that thing's peppy,
Electric smart car? I didn't know they made electric.
Didn't know they
fully
made those.
electric. Yep.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
It's an interesting concept. It's an interesting car, and it takes off like crazy, but then it like maxes out at like 90 kilometers an hour.
I think my Ryobi electric lawnmower probably has more power than that thing.
Well, probably it will squawk a tire. I'll give it that. So we do that one. That one comes in for seasonal tire changes, and I think I had to do an axle shaft on it a couple years ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, he just drives it. He loves his electric vehicles.
Little 13-inch pizza cutters on it.
Pretty, yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. They're
I
about
love the little wheels.
inch and a half wide on
175,
the.
175, 70, 13. Every time I hear that that tire size, it brings me back to when I used to sell a bunch of Toyota Tercels way back then.
Oh, tiny little tires. It's hard to find. It's hard to find 13-inch tires. I needed new tires for my trailer, and they were 13-inch, and I couldn't find any.
Oh
And so
man.
I ended up finding some rims 14-inch, and now
Yep.
I got nice tires on it again. But like, I was like, this is crazy.
13-inch non-existent now.
Hmm.
Or you pay an arm and a leg to try to get something.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah.
Have have you, Jacob, had any issues with I know it's an ongoing conversation right now in the industry about used tire pickup. Has that affected you guys over there?
I've asked a couple times about it. We only use one tire supplier,
Hmm.
and they actually come and pick up all of the used tires
Oh, really?
because with the type of company that we work for, we have our own fleet of vehicles.
Okay.
So the owner is very big on, can we reuse that tire? Can we recase that tire? And you
Okay.
can get a lot of life out of these remolded, recased tires.
Okay.
So,
So
so yeah,
you're retreading them basically.
yeah, it's like
Okay.
a full remold. Like it's a tread and a whole
Yeah,
sidewall
yeah, yeah.
mold
Yeah,
wrapped
it's
over
all
it, and
gets retreaded.
yeah, it's pretty cool
Okay.
how they do it, and they work out great for trailer tires and just
But like your
stuff like
regular
that.
passenger tires that are going to go to scrap, have you had issues with like the OTS coming to pick them up, or do they kind of just sit around for a while until finally someone gets them?
No, like I say, we have that company that does the remolds for us, and they'll just take all of the
They
tires.
take everything. Okay, okay.
Yeah, all of the tires, probably once a week minimum.
Oh,
'Cause
that's really good.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
excellent. Because I
Here,
know there's been a lot of people that have had like mountains of tires in Ontario.
so
That
I've seen some of the
have
posts
here's
about
what we're gonna do: is we're gonna start shipping them up over there.
that's actually a great idea. Yeah.
Yep. So if they're gonna be taking them,
No, I haven't heard too much about it in our area where people are having a lot of issues.
So a lot of the
I think the
GTA.
further you go to the bigger cities,
Yeah.
Ottawa, even Kingston, maybe headed up that way, they're starting to have issues. But rural, small towns, it doesn't seem to be affecting them quite as much. Like
well,
the
except
Ford dealership I was at previously, even them, like we'd get an absolute mountain out back
Yep.
every couple weeks, and then they'd show up empty truck because they knew we were going to have a mountain, and they'd
Yep.
have those suckers stacked in there
Oh yeah.
diagonal on each other. It was impressive how many tires they could cram in.
oh yeah, they cram it in there because they
Yeah.
get when they pick them up, they get paid by weight. So they want to fill that truck as much as possible. They don't get
Mhm.
paid per tire.
I remember way back when we first got into tires, we used to sell a lot of used tires. So
Mhm.
we'd go to the recyclers and they'd have like a separate area for all the good tires. So we'd go and filter through all the tires and try to make sets, and we'd get them all lined up, and Dad would be in the truck and I'd be in the back with one of my other guys, just literally trying to lace the tires. And
Yeah.
man, that not easy. But these guys that do it every day, I mean, they're so good at it,
And
filling that
quick.
truck up in no time.
Yeah. I've never really heard down this way of the used tires being sold outside of like the heavy truck stuff, but we had a thing for quite a while. One of the local racetracks within an hour and a half of here, uh, a guy that I know did drifting events.
Okay.
And so everybody within like a couple hours, that was into the drifting, they'd just go from shop to shop to shop. Hey, let me know when you have tires this size used. If you're just going to toss them, I'll take them.
Yeah.
So there was quite a few shops around that just never had an issue with certain size tires laying around.
Oh yeah.
They go to
It-
the track and get burned off. That's a good idea,
Yeah,
actually.
that was awesome. And then there was people that played into that as well. You'd be at the track and people would be burning their tires off. All of a sudden, a truck pull in with a trailer with the tire machine and balancer on behind it. No one really cared to have them balanced, but
mhm.
the
Hmm.
tire machine guy, they were charging I think 15 or $20 a pop per tire to swap them right there on that trailer and get you back on the track.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's
Yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
15,
But
20
when
bucks a
when
tire.
they were doing so many of them in a day, though, is you come in with the used tires, and I've seen you get maybe 2 laps out of them, type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were changing a lot of tires in a day,
And
Well,
then
and
they
I
got to
seen
then
that.
dispose somewhere.
I seen that the track that I was at a few weeks ago, Russell's M40 Speedway in Michigan,
Mhm.
and I was down in the pit area, and they same thing. They had a actually had a hoist in there as well, tire
Oh,
machine, a
cool.
bunch of tires,
Oh
and
yeah.
so same thing. If you would have had to blow it, you just go in there and grab another tire, and off you go. So
Wow.
that's, I guess, a pretty lucrative business way to do it for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
This I think it's pretty interesting that your shop is a hybrid shop, because like there's not too many shops that are doing a lot of big diesel and then they're still dabbling in the regular passenger cars. So is that just something that's happened since you arrived there, or
So it was something that they had been trying to get into. I reached out probably last November, like
Okay.
November of 24.
Okay.
I had reached out because my dad mentioned, hey, this company, they built this big shop, and I don't know if they're looking for mechanics, but I know you want to be closer to home. It's less of a commute, which is nice. So I reached out at that point, and at that point in time, they were a two-man operation in this big 120-foot shop.
Yeah.
And they were just thinking about dabbling in the automotive stuff to kind of cover their own fleet and bring a little bit of surplus money in on top of what they were
Definitely.
already
Yeah.
doing. And at that time, the owner talked to me, and the foreman at the time talked to me, and we had a good chat. And I thought it was going all right. And then they asked for a number, and I said a number, and I don't think it lined up with what their goals were at that time.
Okay.
Um, so then they did slowly start dabbling in it, and they brought a few customers in, and then they brought a guy on part time.
Hmm.
And so he would come in at night after working full time at his day job. He
Okay.
would come in at night, and he would
That's
be,
hard work.
yeah, he would, well, that's where it gets kind of fun because he would say he was working, he'd write it down that he was working, but he'd be bringing in his own side jobs sometimes
Oh, fun.
and doing it on
Oh,
their hoists. And he would be intoxicated while he was doing these jobs on their hoists. And then it came about that they realized he was stealing time. I think there was shop supplies disappearing type of thing.
jeez.
And then at one point in time, the owner and his wife were down in, I want to say, probably Florida. And they were down in Florida, and they got an interesting phone call from a lady in the middle of the night. And she said, I so and so called me and asked me to come out to this address. And when I looked it up to try to figure out where it was, it said that you are a business owner at this address. And they said, yes, that's correct. Why, may we ask, are you being called out there? And she admitted that she was in a very certain line of work and had been requested to come and perform services
Oh,
in the middle of the night
Oh,
at the shop. So,
man.
yeah. So
See,
wow.
they
I
had a
understand.
Balls.
I
they had a
understand
big
that
sit
shop
down with
does
him.
oil, lube, and filter, but brother, that's the wrong,
Yeah,
wrong
yeah,
Nope.
customer.
yeah.
Hello.
No, so the owner had to really shift gears with things at that point because they were trying to build a team. They were trying to get things figured out. So he shut down this working at night type of stuff. They had a conversation with this guy. They
No
said,
pun
"You're
intended.
gone." And he reached back out to me. He's like, "Hey, I'd love to talk about it again." I said, "Cool, sounds good." So that's when they told me this whole story about it, and I said, "Well, I can promise you, I'm not going to pull any kind of moves like that."
You tell him that you're not a working man.
Oh man,
That
they,
that. Oh my
I've
god.
yeah,
never heard of someone loving their job that much.
yeah. So
Man.
at that point, I kind of came back with the same number we had talked about the last time, and I think had seen enough to realize, like, oh yeah, that's kind of the going rate for someone that's not gonna do things like that.
Not going to screw
Yeah,
them literally.
yeah. So yeah, they
Wow.
brought me on. They had figured out they had enough work to keep someone like me on 40 hours a week, which is good. So, and I
Great.
told them straight up when I started out, I said, if it comes down to even we don't have a full week worth of automotive work, I will jump on and pretend I'm a brand new truck apprentice. I would love to
There you
learn.
go.
There you
So,
go.
so they were happy about that. And
Yeah, that's one way to diversify yourself because yeah, you're right. Like if there's not a whole bunch of passenger vehicles to work on, and they've got other stuff that you can dabble in and get experience with, and down the line you're working in both. I mean, it's only going to benefit them.
oh, exactly. And like I say, it's still a pretty new company. They're still trying to build their team. So
So are you on an hourly rate then, or flat rate, or salary, or anything like that?
I'm on an hourly rate, which I was flat rate previously. So it's a breath of fresh air.
Is
Yeah.
it like I've never worked flat rate, so I'm always curious to see how the other side of the world lives, right? Because I was always an hourly tech my whole life.
I didn't get to experience flat rate at its prime. I didn't get to experience it working correctly.
Hmm.
The dealership that I was at a Ford dealership before coming to this shop.
Yep.
And when I first went back there from a private shop where they treated me quite well, and it just some things changed, and I decided that, we had a growing family and I needed to make a change myself. Part of it was money, part of it was fundamental things, blah, blah, blah. But I went back to this Ford dealership I had actually started my apprenticeship at. And when I
Okay.
went back there, it was still owned by a local family, and they were running it as hourly, but kind of like a flat rate bonus. If you
Yeah,
worked 80
hybrid
hours and
system
you made
probably.
90, you got paid for 90.
Hmm.
So that was fantastic. The vibes in that shop were immaculate. We had the A team, as far as I'm concerned, and everybody got along so well. Every day was just a party. We were pumping out cars like crazy.
Hmm.
And then things started kind of changing and getting a little weird. Insurance adjusters were showing up, or that's what we were told was insurance adjusters. No, they were appraisers. And all of a sudden, work was being done on this building that they had not put money into for 20 years. And
Yeah.
we all realized, oh, we're being sold.
Yeah.
And so these new owners came in and they own three or four dealerships and a whole whack of used car sales places.
Hmm.
And they came in and they just started changing everything, tearing
And that was
down
it.
walls, changing offices, putting us all on laptops for everything and making us all adapt to it. And saying like, oh yeah, here's they pulled us in, and the big owner of this company, he gave us a whole spiel about how he was a technician and he made it work so well with flat rate, and it was going to benefit us so much. But oh, we're not going to do it right away. We're going to ease into it.
Yeah.
And they threw this giant number at us that for that small town hadn't been seen before. So it got us all kind of excited. But the stipulation was that number, if you don't do X amount of Ford training in 2 years, that number is going to drop.
Yeah.
And I looked at it as, oh, I've seen what the wait lists look like to get into these classes. I'm not going to make the amount of training.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my time chop or my pay rate chopped off.
Yep.
So I was already aware of that. And then they made all these promises about, our dealerships are hubs for our safeties for the used car dealers. So it was supposed to just be bang, 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 safeties all the time. You guys are going to be making crazy money. When there's not customers coming through the door, you're going to be pumping out these crazy safeties and making a ton. It just didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
It did not work out that way at all. And I started to realize really quick after 2 or 3 bad paychecks, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy this at all. I came in here, I busted my butt for 80 hours, but Ford warranty land screwed me. Or, it was a bad week. The wash bay guy wasn't here, so they couldn't allocate enough used cars to the dealership
Hmm.
to keep the technicians fed. Like, it wasn't good. I
It's
don't know how that system, I'd love to see it work in a perfect world and understand it, but I couldn't get behind it. I
it's
could
in,
not.
it's incredible how, like, like you were saying, you had the A team and everything was just hunky dory and amazing. Everyone's making money, which, again, if all the techs are happy and making good money, that means the dealership's doing well as well. As,
Absolutely.
as well. That was weird. But
Also, also as well.
but
Also,
but going from that and then bam, it gets sold and it gets switched, and then all the techs and everyone's like, well, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
The culture in the whole shop just did a 180. Is
Yeah. And
basically
well,
what happened.
they walked out all the front staff too, which kind of just really, it just shell shocked the entire dealership.
So all these advisors that you're used to talking to all the time, that are feeding everybody work and have that relationship, in one shot they're gone, and then you've got a whole new set of people. Like, hey, this is your new team,
Well, they kept the advisors on. It was the whole sales team, including the sales manager,
all
who
gone.
had been the one assuring us the whole time because she got to meet these new owners well before it all happened. She
Okay.
kept assuring us, this is going to be amazing for you guys. You guys are going to love this. And then they flip flopped on her. And she was the one that a lot of us went to get what we actually wanted. she wasn't afraid to go put the push on the owners, like, hey, the guys need this. You need to do this for the guys. Come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just kind of a whoa shell shock. Everyone was just baffled. We
I think
came in
that's
the next day and
probably
they were gone.
the hardest thing about any sort of like working in a business somewhere is like, what do you do if the business gets sold? Do you stay on? Is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or do you then just cut your losses and walk away and find something else that's going to suit you better?
I
Because
gave it almost a year.
oh really?
Yeah, I just after
That,
that long I
that
couldn't.
that's giving it a good effort, and you would know by that point whether it's going to work for you or not for sure.
Yeah, no, I watched it go up and down quite a few times, and I just, based on what their other stores were doing or what they were telling us they were doing, it was not making sense. Things weren't lining up in my head. If you can
Yeah.
implement these things at X dealer and make it one of the fastest growing dealers in Canada, what's going on with our dealer? Why aren't we replicating those processes? What's going on? So,
Unfortunately, a lot of times these bigger dealers that take over more dealerships, they may not be completely prepared for it, and secondly, they're looking at everything like a number.
hmm
So this place has to do this number or we're going to lose money. If it doesn't, if it does this number, we're good. If it does over this, then we're good. But if it goes anywhere close to this, we're going to start losing money, and then we're going to have to start getting rid of people to just get back to the level that we were predicting that this place can do.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
they don't care what it's
yeah,
going to
no,
do
it's
that,
all
right?
about percentages, and basically if we have to get rid of four more people, and that'll bring us to this number with this many techs and are producing this many hours, and that's fine. I don't really care what these guys think of us, but whatever. This is
yep,
another spot, another number on our profit book, and here we go.
we had that was exactly what was happening at this dealership.
Yeah,
And it
I
was actually
know.
to the point, like I said, we had the A team at one point and the vibes were amazing and blah, blah, blah. When our top technician left, and then one of our other technicians recommended someone, they hired that person on, and then that person recommended a friend of theirs, and they hired that person on. And then we found out really quick that that was a two-person team, but only one knew what they were doing and had the work ethic for it.
Yeah,
And so they would sit around and watch the other person do their work essentially. This was two licensed technicians, and the one would sit and watch the other one do their work while they just went about their business on their phone, played around on their laptop, blah, blah, blah. But the other person was quick enough to make both of their hours.
Holy cow!
So the dealership didn't care. The management didn't care. No matter how many our technicians went in and were frustrated with the situation, like I'm busting my butt while I'm watching that person sit there. No
yeah.
matter how many of us went in and complained about that, they didn't care because they were making their numbers. They were hitting their numbers and putting out enough cars. And
Because
unfortunately, there was a lot of comebacks tied to
even
that
if
too, though.
even if they don't know the situation going in the garage, when that printout spits out what's going on, all they're looking at is tech A and B produce this many hours, and that's it. That's all they're looking at.
hmm
And even if there are comebacks, they look at the percentage and they're like, ah, it's worth it. It's fine. Whatever. They're producing this many hours. They get this many comebacks. Whatever.
Yeah. And the comebacks would just get filtered throughout the shop too, which
Yeah.
sucked.
So you'd have to deal with their crap.
Yes. No, I did, and I did enough of them that I started bringing them up, and then there was a lot of denial, and I would just at that point go right to the service advisor and say, "Hey, print me this work order,"
Yeah.
and I'd go highlight things and I'd put them right on toolboxes. I was not messing around.
Yeah.
If you're
You
gonna
know,
waste the customer's time and my time, I'm here to waste yours.
Yeah, sounds
I'm
like that became a pretty toxic shop pretty quickly.
Very quick, very very quickly.
I'm glad you're in a place right now. It sound from what I can understand is the relationship and the culture in the shop you're in now is 100 times better than where you've been in the past.
Absolutely, it's a breath of fresh air. Like I was saying, it's. I'm not gonna say we dink around or anything, but the pace is slower than what I was at.
Yep.
And they understand that it takes time to put out a good product.
Yep.
And I'm just so happy that I can do that again. I felt like I was rushing, and sometimes I wasn't putting out maybe what could have been my best work because I was scared I wasn't going to make my paycheck.
And having
So,
having mutual respect as well with your peers, and being somewhere where when you wake up in the morning, you're not like, oh man, I got to go into work today, and
yeah.
even God forbid, looking forward to going into work. I mean, it's unheard of, but I mean, you can find places where you actually feel like going in to turn a wrench. And it's not just like, people say, oh, I have to go into work. I don't have a choice. I have to go into work.
Hmm.
But, I've
No,
always told people that if you have the attitude and the feeling of this is just a job, I got to go in, turn some wrenches, and at 5:01, I'm out of here. And if that's the kind of attitude you have, I mean, you're probably in the wrong shop.
Yeah. I made a TikTok video about that recently. Just it clicked in my head one day. I realized I was like, oh, I'm happy about wrenching again. I
Yeah.
did a job that I normally would want almost nothing to do with
Yep.
because it was always in a go, go, go environment. And I just kind of pitter pattered through this job and took my time and did it to a level that I was happy with and I knew was not going to come back as a repeat repair.
Yeah.
So I put it out and then it clicked with me that night. I just kind of I
It's
realized, hey, I'm
taking
enjoying this
pride in your
again. And
work, right? You take
yeah,
pride in your work. You want to put out a good product. No matter what the vehicle is, your name's on it, right? Your
yep,
name's on that work order, and you want to make sure if that car is going out, someone's depending on you to make sure that vehicle is in good working condition. So, I mean, that says a lot, right? You don't want to just put out a bad product just to get it done quick.
yeah, absolutely. And that feeling made me realize too that I had been burnt out for so many months
Yep.
and getting that feeling of enjoying the work again.
Yeah.
The burnout was almost just disappeared along with that type of thing. Like my mental health was just bouncing back within a
yeah,
couple months of leaving such a toxic workplace.
the burnout is very real in this industry. But as you said, it's a very enjoyable job. Like it really is. I tell everyone I've done this for 25 years or 27 years or whatever, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the career. But not every job has been good. Some of the jobs suck.
Oh, some of them
Yep.
really suck. Yeah.
But in the point of learning and doing something different and new all the time, it's you can't have another job that's going to be as rewarding as that. And I tell my apprentice all the time, I said, the most rewarding thing is a customer brings a vehicle in. It's broken, whether it needs brakes or wheel bearing or it doesn't start or it's got this weird little hiccup or whatever,
Or an oil cooler.
or an oil cooler if you happen to have a Chevy Cruze. But when you leave, it's fixed unless you have a Chevy Cruze. Then it's going to come back and leak
Come
again.
back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Just slap O rings in it.
that's the most rewarding thing about it. I
Yeah.
love something comes in as a no start, like that Ranger the other day got towed in, no start, and take a little bit of time, diagnose it, clean the mass airflow sensor, fires right up. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not all that easy. That was kind of a needle in the haystack, but the satisfaction you get from even something that simple
Mm-hmm.
makes that laying under the dash and pulling it out to do a heater core or something like that makes it worth it because it's like there's going to be good days. There's
Yep.
going to be good days. So there's always better days.
But a lot of it has to do, Frank, in your case, in my case, it has a lot to do with the owner of the shop wanting the environment to be like that, as if they were working in the shop themselves. I mean,
Very
like
much.
you work in the shop as well, so I mean it's very different. Like you're really zoned in there. And again, for myself, I'm in the shop often, training new hires on tires or how things are going. But if the owner is not taking a very big role, uh, you know in the shop and understanding how things flow and how the techs feel, it's huge. if you're not in tune with how your techs are feeling in the garage, if the camaraderie is not there, if you're not having that feeling where everyone is, at least for the most part, in a good mood. I mean, not everyone's gonna be all, chipper like Frank every single day, but you know, if at least the vibes, like you were saying, Jacob, are good vibes, and everyone's at least for the most part on a good wavelength. And if you miss that, and you're missing cues over and over again, that some there could be one toxic employee that's screwing everything up. If you're missing that cue, you're only going to screw yourself, no one else. Because
Yeah,
at the end of the day, Jacob or Bob or Joe can just take the locks off their toolbox and roll it 100 feet up onto a truck, and they're going to find another place in about 30 seconds.
Yep.
But your butt's going to be stuck without a tech because you're not paying attention to what your team members need. And that's
exactly.
one of the
Yep.
biggest issues in this industry is a lot of these owners, and I'm sorry whoever's listening if you think this is offensive, but a lot of you have your heads up your behind and are not realizing that the gold that you have that are turning those wrenches, if you don't keep them happy, you're going to lose them. And if you're not a mechanic, your butt's going to be the one in the garage turning those wrenches, and you're going to be screwed.
Yep.
So if you really want your business to extend out many, many years and still be present in the next 5 or 10 years, you've got to make some changes, treat your techs right, pay them what they deserve, and understand that they have feelings. They're not just a grease monkey that's turning a wrench and bringing a car out for you. They're bringing it out for their health too, because if they do a good job at the end of the year, you're going to want to talk to them about a raise. They're going to want a raise because everything's getting expensive. But if you're not putting that time into building up these new techs, senior techs, doesn't matter who it is, but if you're not spending that time building them up, they're going to leave, and you're going to be stuck, and you're going to be left out to dry.
Mm-hmm.
So my one message for tonight, you know, is if you've got techs that have been with you for a while, you're very lucky because it's not something normal right now for a lot of techs to stay in the same spot. I mean, some techs will leave for $3 and go down the street, but some
Yep.
techs will take a $3 cut to stay in the same spot because they love where they are. They love the culture. And that's one thing a lot of owners don't understand is it's not always about the money. It's about how they're treated at the place that they go and hang their hat, 40 plus hours a
Absolutely.
week.
I
I've
took going from the Ford dealer to where I'm at now and looking at how my paychecks were, this is how I justified it. The hours weren't there, so the money and the math didn't add up, but I technically took a $8 pay cut.
Yeah.
wow.
$8 an hour.
Yeah,
But the paychecks are working out to be the same, if not better. So
yeah, because there's constant work. You're not working on a
yeah.
flat rate,
Yeah,
hoping
and
that
I'm
you're going to
happy
make
and
at
I'm
least
not
8 hours.
stressed out about it.
Yep.
It's great.
I mean, how much those dollars an hour, how much is that worth compared to your mental health or
Exactly.
your sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially raising a young family, you got to be there for them. You got to be able to be mentally there
On 2 hours of
just as much
sleep.
as physically. Yep.
How
Yeah.
many kids you got, Jacob?
We've got 2 kids here right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've got
Two and
three.
we're
That's
done.
why
So
it was funny. Frank was like, he's pulling a U right now because usually I'm the one that I'm like, Frank, kids are almost in bed. We're almost ready to record, and then I'm like, I need another 5-10 minutes right now.
I was texting him about it. I was surprised actually that our 10-year-old was giving us more trouble getting to bed than the 2-year-old. So that was fun.
But going back to what I was saying, and I know Frank will preach it to the walls that it's not just for the customers that we're doing all this for our families as well, and we're working hard to provide a good check and good four walls around our kids and our wives and our partners. And if we're not respecting ourselves at work in that sense too with our employers, we want to do the best we can for our family and for the shop that we're working in to build a better life,
Mhm.
because we're working for our families at the end of the day, right? So
That's all it's about. It's not about the employer, and it's not about the work, and it's not really about the customers. It's about what we can provide for ourselves and our families,
yeah,
and that we can have a good life for ourselves as well.
Mhm.
That's
exactly.
what it's all about.
Exactly. Well,
Absolutely.
Jacob, we're pushing about just over an hour here, but man, really appreciate you coming on the podcast here today.
Yeah, I
And
appreciate you having me here.
definitely. And thanks, Frank, for finding Jacob. And Jacob, I'll get your contact info from Frank. Definitely keep in touch, and definitely, one of these days, if you're ever in this area, we should all get together. It would be nice.
Yeah, I don't make it up that way very often. It may be twice in the last 10 years, but if I can avoid driving in the GTA, I avoid it at all costs.
Oh yeah. Well, we're a lot further west, so you get to pass all the craziness, and then
Oh,
once
I
you
can
start
just
seeing a
go
lot more green,
up and
then you're
around.
kind of, yeah, basically.
That's all we've got out this way is green. So
Oh yeah.
Nice.
yeah,
But thanks, Jacob. Hang on the line here. But thank you everyone for listening. And this episode will be on YouTube, hopefully in the next couple days. And you can check us out on Facebook, Shop and Tread Talk Podcast. And thank you and good night.